First, you locked up Lord Ram, and now you want to lock up Lord Hanuman. This was the Prime Minister's hit back at the Congress party that has declared in its Karnataka manifesto that it will ban the Bajrang Dal along with other outfits that spread communal hatred. The Congress party in Karnataka ahead of critical elections has clubbed the Bajrang Dal, a youth affiliate of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, with groups like the PFI that have been accused of terror links. The BJP has retaliated with full force, alleging a insult to Lord Hanuman. The Congress says that the insult is in fact by the BJP because it is equating groups like the Bajrang Dal with Lord Hanuman. Is this a smart move by the Congress, or will it lead to unnecessary polarization and controversy that will in fact play into the hands of the BJP in an election that pundits widely say was tipped in favor, in fact, of the Congress party? Why would the Bajrang Dal be clubbed with the PFI? Is that a fair analogy? Is it, moreover, a politically smart analogy, or has the Congress courted a controversy that it could have done without? Let's introduce our guest on the program today, Sanjay Jha, who, of course, a passionate supporter of the Congress party, a lapsed spokesperson of the party, is with us. Also joining us is Rashid Kidwai, one of the finest journalists and authors of this country. Also joining us from the BJP, the senior leader and national spokesperson, Gopal Krishnan Agarwal. Namaskar, and always a pleasure to have you, Gopalji. And Varun Singh, journalist and political analyst, is with us. Before we go any further, let me play out for you what the Prime Minister has said when he basically referred back to Ayodhya. He referred back to the locks on what was then the Babri Masjid, where the Ram Mandir is now coming up. He spoke about how the Congress locked up Lord Ram and now seeks to lock up Lord Hanuman in the...
और आज जब मैं यहाँ हनुमान जी की इस पवित्र भूमि पर आया हूं, मेरे लिए हनुमान जी की इस पवित्र भूमि को नमन करना ये बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है। लेकिन दुर्भाग्य देखिए, जब मैं आज हनुमान जी की पवित्र भूमि को प्रणाम करने के लिए आया हूं, उसी समय कांग्रेस पार्टी ने अपने मैनिफेस्टो में बजरंग बली को ताने में बंद करने का निर्णय किया है। पहले प्रभु श्री राम को ताले में बंद किया और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों को ताले में बंद करने का संकल्प लिया है। यह देश का दुर्भाग्य है कि कांग्रेस पार्टी को प्रभु श्री राम से भी तकलीफ होती थी और अब जय बजरंग बली बोलने वालों से भी तकलीफ हो रही है।
Let's get reactions now straight off. Gopal Krishnan Agarwal, I'll start with you. It is not as if the Bajrang Dal has been greatly promoted by the BJP as a youth wing of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad. In fact, some would argue it's been on the margins. Why would the BJP choose to make the Bajrang Dal a centerpiece of its campaign, with the Prime Minister no less responding to this controversy, Gopalji? And please unmute yourself before you respond.
Thank you, Barkha ji. I was in Karnataka for 9 days. Yesterday evening only I came. I went there for 24th. I also went to Belgavi also. The sentiment there is very positive about the BJP. One thing is there. It is the mindset that Prime Minister has been talking about from the Congress side. The communal politics that they want to play. Why they will... earlier there was an issue of 4% reservation for the particular religion. When the constitution does not allow, they have been giving a reservation for one particular religious community, and they were also opposed to a reservation to OBC and the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, etc. So the thing is, what the Prime Minister and we all have been talking about Congress is their communal politics. Why they want to ban Bajrang Dal and equate it with a PFI, a terrorist organization? where what terrorist activities has Bajrang done? Are they sure about it? So they just want to equate and appease the particular community, Muslim community, and that is the vote bank that they are tracking out, and that is what we are talking about. Is that the mindset of denying Ram, locking them, not supporting the building of temple for Ram, or about Ram Setu's issue. Wherever there is an issue of this, they have been playing anti-Hindu sentiment at all.
Gopalji, you may question the clubbing of the Bajrang Dal and the PFI, but why would you want to support the Bajrang Dal, which has been linked with incidents of violence, most recently in UP, for example, when Atiq Ahmed, a gangster, dreaded gangster, was killed in custody. One of the men arrested by the UP police said on his Facebook page that he's a member of the Bajrang Dal. So I can see your argument that it is not the same as the PFI. The PFI is linked to terror groups. But why would the BJP want to spend political capital defending a group like the Bajrang Dal?
No, but you, an individual person doing an anti-law activities, action law has to take its action. If the UP police has arrested a person who is claiming himself to Bajrang Dal, then the law, everybody should appreciate that the law is taking its stand. The law of the land is supreme. But you cannot club an individual's act through the individual act. The whole organization is to be reprimanded or is to be banned. So, if that logic, if the Congress wants to hold that logic, then at point of time they have been saying that don't call a whole community by just a simple. There has been a talk like this. So, an individual of any organization, even Congress people have been indulged into anti law activities. So you cannot club them to be the whole organization to be terrorist organization. Anybody taking a law in its own hand has to be taken care of, and it has to be reprimanded. Even the Prime Minister has said that at times some go issues. He said that don't do this kind of activities. So you have to control and check, etc. But you cannot, by the act of an individual person, you can club the whole organization as a terrorist organization. It is just an appeasement politics that they want to do Congress, and that is what the Prime Minister has been saying.
It's very interesting for me to observe because I don't remember the last time the Prime Minister or anyone in the senior BJP leadership actually spoke about the Bajrang Dal. So it's quite interesting to see the Bajrang Dal at the center stage of an electoral campaign. I just want to play out before I come to Sanjay what the Congress is saying officially. The Congress is accusing the BJP of insulting Lord Hanuman by clubbing the Bajrang Dal with Lord Hanuman. Listen.
शर्म आनी चाहिए। अगर प्रधानमंत्री ने ऐसा कहा है तो पूरी तरह से मैं बोल सकता हूं, दावे के साथ कह सकता हूं कि शर्म आनी चाहिए प्रधानमंत्री। ये ध्रुव सक्सेना जिस दल के हों, उनको आप मेरे आराध्य देव हनुमान जी से कंपेयर करेंगे, बजरंग बली से कंपेयर करेंगे? ये रक्षा करते हैं हमारी। मोदी जी आपसे भी यही रक्षा करते हैं हमारी। इनसे आप तुलना कर रहे हैं बजरंग दल की, जिनके विषय में आपके अपने नेता ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया ने क्या कहा था याद है 2017 में? कि ये आईएसआई से संबंधित लोग हैं, आईएसआई सर्टिफाइड पार्टी है। फोन उठाइए प्रधानमंत्री जी और पूछिए जरा ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया से क्या विचार है उनके बजरंग दल के विषय में। बजरंग दल की तुलना बजरंगी से करेंगे और हम बर्दाश्त कर लेंगे? ये अपमान नहीं सहेंगे हम। कैसे अपमान कर सकते हैं वो बजरंग बली का? हम अरे हमारी भी श्रद्धा है, हमारी भी आस्था है, हम अपने दिल के पास रखते हैं अपनी आस्था को, लेकिन कोई सीमा होती है अपमान करने की हमारी आस्था। आप कैसे अपमान कर सकते हैं मेरी आस्था का? माफी मांगे प्रधानमंत्री इस देश से और करोड़ों ऐसे भक्तों से जो बजरंग बली को अपने दिल के करीब रखते हैं।
The Karnataka campaign is now fully polarized, and usually we have seen, Sanjay Jha, that when a campaign is polarized, it plays to the advantage of the BJP. I do not remember an election where the polarization of a campaign has led to an advantage for the Congress party. Do you believe the Congress has been smart in clubbing the Bajrang Dal with the PFI? Do you believe the Congress needed to get into this controversy at all ahead of an election that pundits were otherwise saying tips in its favor?
Barkha, a quick response. Number one, even I have been in Karnataka. This is a non-issue there. In fact, if you remember, I don't know in whose program the BJP talked about Imran Pratapgarhi's relationship or, spending time with Atik. I mean, this is the political desperation. If you heard in Narendra Modi yesterday, you could make out, I mean, they have no issues at all. The people of Karnataka have made up their mind to defeat what is now very popular catchphrase of 40% commission government, 100% communal political party. Now, let me fact check Gopal Agarwal before I actually want to nail this discussion, because we don't want post-truth and fake news to circulate. Number one, Gopal Agarwal on your program, and he's a spokesperson of the BJP, he can't be so irresponsible. He says that the 4% Muslim quota was based on religious grounds. It's a lie, it's a fabrication. It was based on backwardness, not on
But it was
religious
specific,
quota.
but it's specific to one religion. It's specific to one religion.
No, 1
It's
minute.
specific to one religious
There are
community.
Barkha, Muslims are a religion, yes, but they're also backward. Hindus are also a religion, they're backward. It was part of the backward quota, number one. Number two, because the religious considerations are not even allowed by the constitution. Number two, very important, he talks on your show that the Congress was anti-Hindu, anti-Ram temple. I challenge him before the end of this program to kindly furnish evidence that the Congress party has said that they are against the Ram temple. If not, Gopal Agarwal needs to apologize before the program is over. Now, let me answer your question. Dhruv Saxena being part of the ISI is of legend. And by the way, he was part of the Bajrang Dal. Now, let me give you 5 other instances which tell you that the Bajrang Dal is a militant outfit and the BJP uses the VHP and the Bajrang Dal to do its aggressive mobilization on ground. Kindly hear me out, I won't take too long. Recent violence that has happened in Bihar, I come from Bihar, I fact checked it with my friends in Bihar. The Bihar Sharif violence, the WhatsApp which was used to provoke communal tensions and ultimately led to the arrest of people include Bajrang Dal members who are principally responsible for the Ram Navami violence that has happened in Bihar. Number two, very critical. Do we remember this guy called Monu Manesar? He is been arrested for the lynchings that have happened in Rajasthan. He belongs to the Bajrang Dal. Number three, let me give you another example. Very important. And I think we should know about this. The CIA in its document and the US State Department backing it is on record to say that the VHP and the Bajrang Dal are religious militant outfits. Mr. Modi's government has been able to do nothing about it. Perhaps they agree with that. Number four, that extremely violent manifestation of Babu Bajrangi during the 2002 riots in Gujarat. I don't want to even recount it, it's so horrible. That gentleman, who has now been acquitted, obviously, has been part of the Bajrang Dal. Can somebody explain to me what makes Bajrang Dal, in the opinion of Mr. Modi, compared with Lord Hanuman? I mean, Narendra Modi and the BJP and Gopal Agarwal owe an answer to the people of this country.
Okay.
I've got many more examples. Can we talk of Graham Staines? No. Can we talk of Graham Staines? A man who was working as a community worker in Odisha, who along with his family was burned to death in a jeep. And you are giving us lectures here on religious tolerance, etc., etc.
Okay.
I mean, you guys owe an apology, and you're losing Karnataka hands down.
Okay, Sanjay. Now I was going to come to Varun and Rashid, but I must allow Gopalji a brief interjection there. Gopalji, please go ahead.
There are 2-3 issues. One thing is, it is very amusing that Sanjay Jha is relying on CIA report on Bajrang Dal. That is what we have been talking, that whenever they want to underline any of the claim, they will depend upon the foreign media or foreign investigating agencies or anything. That is their preference, and their love for foreign agencies is very much evident in their approach. Second thing is, they have he has said that Congress was not at any point of time opposed to Ramchandra. They never supported the Ram temple at Ayodhya. Even when the court order came, there was from the attempt by the Congress leadership and their lawyers that the settlement on the whatever the judgment is by the Supreme Court, that should be stalled. So that they have been opposing even on the Ram Setu. They gave an affidavit that the Ram did not exist. He is a mythological person. Their approach to the thing, and when he says that the 4% reservation was for the backward people, it is also not correct. It was for a particular religion, and therefore it was withdrawn. So their communal politics, their vote bank politics, their complete respect to Ram and even the Hindu icons, etc., is very much evident. And third is their support for their argument is also lies outside the country.
Okay, I must allow the other two people, I guess,
We have
to
been
come in.
talking.
Yeah.
What I would like to mention is what our agenda was started in Karnataka. We have always been using double engine Sarkar is our campaign slogan for Karnataka, where we have been talking about how the welfare schemes of the central government, if the state governments are cooperating, their penetration to the last person is effective. One example I'll give you, Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, the penetration in Karnataka is 94%. The same in Kerala is 56%. The same in Har Ghar Jal, the penetration of Har Ghar Jal Yojana is 67% in Karnataka and 100% in Gujarat, and that is 36% in West
Okay,
Bengal. We have been talking about double engine Sarkar, growth popular for Karnataka. Karnataka has strong potential. In our manifesto, what we are saying that 1%, $1 trillion economy contribution will come for Karnataka. Our infrastructure is for Karnataka. So our agenda is development, double engine Sarkar, infrastructure growth, and equity. Equity without any caste, culture, and religion separation.
Okay, let me request now Sanjay Jha and Gopal Krishnan Agarwal to allow Varun and Rashid to get a word in. And Sanjay, I know you had a point. Just give me a couple of minutes and I'll come back to you. I also want to play, just before that, a short clip of the Prime Minister raising chants in support of Lord Hanuman. I say this to also frame how the mood is now being created by the BJP after this controversy. Just let's listen in and we'll get Rashid and Varun to react. Can we have the sound up?
दोनों हाथ ऊपर करके मेरे साथ बोलिए, बजरंग बली की, बजरंग बली की, बजरंग बली की, भारत माता की, भारत माता की, वंदे 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 बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Rashid, has the Congress made a tactical error? I'm not entering an ideological debate right now. I asked Gopal Krishnan Agarwal why the BJP would spend political capital on the Bajrang Dal. In fact, it's been years since the Prime Minister would have even referenced the Bajrang Dal in any of his speeches. I think all of us who are followers of politics, students of politics, know that. But has the Congress made a tactical error? Rashid, can we have the sound up on Rashid, please? Rashid, go ahead.
Yeah, I think, Barkha, we need to, figure out whether the proposal to include this particular thing in the manifesto came from the state Karnataka Congress unit, or it came from the central party leadership. If it came under central party leadership, then raises a lot of objections. If it came from the state, then obviously they must be having some ground. Remember, this is about law and order. I'm a ban on PFI, a ban on Bajrang Dal. It's not because, and basically that they are two very different entities. They're being talked about in the same breath, but they are two different outfits. If they are posing any law and order threat, then obviously any government, be it Mr. Gopal Krishnan Agarwal's party or any other party which is in government, has to take a note of it. Bajrang Dal has a history of fomenting some kind of trouble, because Narasimha Rao government in 1992 had also imposed a nationwide ban on them. See, the Barkha, you have seen this in Kashmir and everywhere. Even the sort of, so to say, the Muslim society and Muslim countries face this problem when this kind of activists or miscreants or radicals, whatever, or terrorists for that matter, they use some kind of religious identity to assert themselves. So I think as a civilized society we should not get into that kind of trap. There are a lot of things are there about use of or misuse of religion. It is for election commission to take a note of it, whether the prime minister is raising religious
Do you believe this will be a factor, Rashid? Do you believe this controversy is an electoral factor? That's the main thing. It can create noise for 2 days. The BJP and the Congress can trade charges, but in the end, it may or may not be an election issue. We don't know.
Barkha, we have seen that in elections, the BJP is a very capable political party in making so-called non-issues or issues that are not important into an issues. Whether they will click or not, we would get to know only on May 13th. But certainly, the BJP is pouncing on it because it is something that they think that can bring dividend. It is for the voters. I cannot make a judgment on that. But I'm saying that the BJP should. We are the constitutional democracy. If there is any group claiming kind of, allegiance to any religion, any society, indulges in any act of violence, the government of the day has to take a note of it. It's a law and order thing, and there are, of course, courts and tribunals and all are there to provide, relief to them.
Yeah.
And that's how our system has been working.
So here's a question from one of our Mojo members. Remember, if you would like to ask questions directly to our panelists in our programs, do sign up to be a member. Binu asks, and Varun, I want you to respond to this. Why do today's political leaders flaunt religion rather than talk about issues that matter to us people, roads, drains, address the flooding of the BLR, uninterrupted power, etc.? And I think it's a very valid question. And actually, the Congress had somewhat of an advantage. It had a problem of factionalism in the Siddaramaiah DK Shivakumar clash, but it had some of an advantage because the Bomai government was facing serious anti-incumbency. Do you believe the Congress has made an error? And again, I'm not talking on ideology, I'm only talking on tactics.
It was your show, Barkha, where you asked Sandeep Ghosh and me during Gujarat elections, if I'm not wrong. At that point of time, I had said it looks difficult for BJP, but it may come in. And the Congress, which was going to have an easy way out in Karnataka, I don't know why they made these errors and served Karnataka. I'm literally saying served Karnataka to the BJP on platter. You may be talking about Bajrang Dal. Sanjay Jha might be talking about Bajrang Dal. Rashid might be talking about Bajrang Dal. Even Mr. Agarwal would be talking about Bajrang Dal, but no one is talking about Bajrang Dal. It is now Bajrang Bali. The Prime Minister has something that the Congress doesn't have right now, and it is capable advisors. No one is talking about, the Prime Minister not even once mentioned Bajrang Dal in his speech. He just mentioned Bajrang Bali. And that is one big factor that has caused or that has turned entire thing. Tomorrow, if I'm not wrong, entire Karnataka at 7 p.m. on May 4th, there would be Hanuman Chalisa part. And this is happening in midst of election. The Prime Minister has managed to set the narrative, and all thanks to the Congress. Yes, it is a question that in elections we need to talk about corruption. We need to talk about Bangalore flooding, which was one of the biggest news of last year. But are those were the points on which the elections were being fought initially. But, who changed it? Even DK Shivakumar, if I'm not wrong, I read his quote somewhere that, Anjanadri Bhakt hai hum, or we are those, whosoever put it in the manifesto about Bajrang Dal being banned, has caused an internal sabotage to the entire election campaign that was going in their favor. Kharge speaking against Prime Minister, he has served everything to the BJP. They have served everything to the BJP on the platter. And most important thing over here is the BJP is very good at setting narrative, which the Congress at present lacks, which the Congress is very good at giving away things. And that is what we can see. And Mr. Jha, I always feel so happy to listen to him. No fighting. I'm just saying कि इतना अच्छा माहौल था, कांग्रेस के हाथ में सब कुछ था, पता नहीं क्यों. Who are their advisors? And now again in Rajasthan, if you see, in Rajasthan their ministers are talking about the same thing, banning of Bajrang Dal. And they are taking it nationwide. They are the one who are making it a nationwide agenda and serving everything to the BJP.
Okay. Let me actually put this to Sanjay. Mallikarjun Kharge was asked if this was going to be a national agenda, and he sidestepped that question. Now, Sanjay, my question is a little bit different. Let's say the Congress really believes in banning the Bajrang Dal. The Congress can first win the election and then ban it. Why would you declare this intent which you know is going to be contentious? Like, I'm just thinking right now politically, right? I'm thinking, okay, we have a chance to win this election. Let's win this election if I'm a Congress person. And then I'll restore the 4% Muslim quotas. I'll ban the party, the outfit I want to, which is the Bajrang Dal in this case. Why would you declare an intent to polarize or queer the pitch which is going in your favor according to pundits?
Okay, Barkha, now give me a couple of minutes to respond. First and foremost, I think it's absolutely preposterous and absurd that the slant that this conversation is taking today on your show, as if you're taking it as a fait accompli through some established voting has already happened, where you're saying it is a tactical error that is boomerang. I mean, you have a gentleman who spoke before me. Please do not introduce him as a political analyst. He's a BJP hack. Let's kind of accept that. You know,
Okay, let's not be personal.
Your viewers should not be misled into believing he's an independent guy trying to actually sound very neutral. He's a BJP man. Let's
not get personal. Let's
now
argue on issues.
Now let me answer your question. The people of Karnataka have been wanting change for a long time. Okay, you can see it in several election results that have happened. By the way, the people who are actually, bhakts or, fanatical bhakts of the BJP are the ones who will sing along with Narendra Modi. Ask the common people of Karnataka today, what are their problems? Whether it's corruption, governance, the farmers have their problems, they have issues of traffic and infrastructure, they have issues of the kind of flooding that's happened in Bangalore. I mean, that great state has been insulted repeatedly. I think even those people who believe that Narendra Modi's melodramatic attempt to try and, again create a religious slant will help them. I mean, end of day, this is insulting the intelligence of the people of the Silicon Valley of the East. I mean, Karnataka is an enlightened voter. Now, let me make a very important second point for you. It's important. Please remember that where Karnataka is concerned, at the moment you are dealing with the Congress that clearly knows that one of the problems they've had is this hijab halal politics that has tried to polarize the state. What has the Congress done? It has not said we will take action against Bajrang Dal alone. They have talked about PFI as well. And end of day, Narendra Modi and the BJP, we have seen law and order in the states where the BJP is, right? We saw what happened in Prayagraj. India saw on live television, it was like watching a Netflix series where a gangster is shot in front of policemen. Karnataka will not be reduced to a bulldozer state. Karnataka will not become an Uttar Pradesh. Karnataka will not allow to become a Chandragraj. And that is the point why the Congress has said, we want social harmony, we want law and order, and anyone who speaks against creating a socially tranquil environment will be punished. I think
can I ask you something? Can I ask you something briefly before I go to Gopal Krishnan Agarwal? Would all Congress states move to ban the Bajrang Dal?
Well, let me tell you, Barkha, you're a seasoned veteran journalist, right? You know that the Bajrang Dal's origins have really been very deep and entrenched in Karnataka, right? So they may have fringe presence everywhere where the VHP, etc. is, but it is in Karnataka that you find that they actually are as dangerous and diabolical as they may be. And let me make one last point. This is to both Varun Singh and Gopal Agarwal. The Congress has filed a complaint, Barkha, if you don't know this already, against the Home Minister of India, Amit Shah, whose job is to keep the country together, who went to Karnataka. And you can imagine the desperation of the BJP. And he publicly said that if you don't bring the BJP in, you'll have communal riots in Karnataka. I mean, can you imagine how absolutely foul, poisonous and ugly is the BJP's politics?
Okay, let's bring in reactions to that. Gopal Krishnan Agarwal, I'm sure you'll want to react to the comment on Amit Shah, but I have one question which is different. And my question is, suppose after all this noise, the BJP loses Karnataka. What will you take away from that? Suppose that happens on this particular controversy around the banning of the Bajrang Dal.
Barkha ji, I would like to say 2-3 points.
Yes.
One is, that you are here in this show assuming that the Congress was winning. It is not correct.
No, I have no idea. I'm just playing out
No,
different
no.
scenarios.
All the panelists here were saying that BJP. You also said several times that the Congress was winning and why it has done it.
According to pundits, I said. I have no way of knowing. Yes.
There are pundits. I have been in Karnataka. You must have been. There are pundits who are saying that the BJP will have a clean sweep.
Okay.
I was there in 9 days and I have moved to almost 5-6 places there, and we had a press, intellectual meet, professional meet, business community meet particularly, and the road shows, response, etc. So this assumption that the Congress was winning is completely not correct. We are very sure that BJP will win Karnataka, one thing. So this assumption is self-goal. And who did this narration? You see before this Bajrang Dal or any narration or any of our leader, they have never talked about Bajrang Bali or anything. It is the Congress which has talked and communalized the issue. We were talking of double engine sarkar. BJP ye bharav se BJP Purna Bahmat is the only slogan that we have used. We have used double engine sarkara. That is the slogan, and we had been working on every place in Karnataka. Double engine sarkar, the welfare scheme. I gave you data. You have not re-quoted it. I have gave you data where why double engine sarkar will benefit the people of Karnataka. Why infrastructure will the spending by the central government on the infrastructure. Why there is a better penetration in Karnataka about the infrastructure expenditure? Because the state government and the central government, when they align their activities, the state people get a better reach of the social welfare scheme. At the same time, better economic development takes place. So we have been talking about double engine sarkara, the BJP bharosa of the people of the Karnataka for Prime Minister. We have been talking about that. It is the Congress which has done this narration about the communal. They have communalized. They always communalize. Their only agenda, it is not whether they lose or get a benefit out of it is a different question. The mindset is communal divide. They are against the majority of this country. They are only for consolidating the minority vote bank for them. They know that they have created a fear in the minorities, again create a fear of minority, consolidate them against the BJP. This is their mindset. They have created the communal agenda. If we are talking that what they have done, they have written in their manifesto.
Are you hoping?
Last point that I also want to say is about our agenda of development. If they wanted to ban, Sanjay ji was saying that in Gujarat, right, Bajrang Dal was involved. Why did not they ban at that point of time? They were there in the power in so many states from till 2014. Why they did not take action? And they have decided that the Bajrang Dal, without any support of law, etc., or any investigation, they have decided that the Bajrang Dal is a terrorist organization. What is this? They have banned earlier RSS 2 times. What proof they have for RSS to be a organization of?
Can I ask
so they have an agenda. And on Amit Shah ji, I am telling you, there is a clear-cut history that the riots have sequentially taken place where Congress was in rule. Gujarat, after our government came, no riot. Uttar Pradesh, change in law and order situation. The thing is, under their Congress rule states,
Barkha, he's lying.
One second, Sanjay. You can react after he finishes speaking, Sanjay.
So the thing is,
you can react.
History tells. You see the number clear cut. You can get the historical data. Congress has ruled and compare that with BJP rule in the states. The number of riots, law and order.
The politicians are taking up a lot of the time. Sanjay, brief interjection, and then Varun, and then Rashid. Sanjay, briefly.
Yeah. Let me tell you very briefly. Gopal Krishna Agarwal ji is lying on your show, and I'll tell you why. You know what he said? He said, look at the history of every time a Congress wins an election, there's a riot. Let me tell you, Mr. Agarwal ji, Congress won several elections after.
I said the rule.
Respond after. Sanjay, aram se. Sanjay speak, and then he will respond after that. Yeah, okay.
The truth is, the Congress was in government Please read a BJP MP's book, MJ Akbar, called Riots After Riots. He's given you a complete glossary of the riots since 1947. And guess what? The government may be the Congress, but who was responsible for the communal riots? Go and look into the role of the Saffron Parivar. That is
Okay.
Gopal Krishna Agarwal. Look
Okay.
in your conscience. Who is responsible for the
even
riots?
in the
Okay,
Congress,
okay, guys.
And you will have a lot
okay,
to explain
Okay,
for it.
Sanjay ji,
Just-
Sanjay
You'll have a
ji.
lot
just
to
a
explain
sec.
for it.
Okay,
10
okay.
seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Just 10
Gopal.
seconds.
Okay.
Even when the Congress government is in power, then also BJP people are responsible. When the BJP is in power,
Okay.
then also BJP.
Can I please ask my other two friends now to be given a chance to speak? Rashid, go ahead. Here's my question, Rashid. The point is, every time a campaign becomes like this, it means one of two things. It either means this is media and political noise, the voters are voting on something else, or it means that this noise succeeds. And I take Gopal Krishnan Agarwal's point. We have no way of knowing who's going to win Karnataka. Some surveys have projected a Congress win, some surveys have projected a close fight, some surveys have projected a BJP win. Chaliye. Having said that, polarization, in my assessment, has always helped the BJP. I'm just saying this as an observer of politics. Every time a campaign gets polarized, it goes in the favor of the BJP, which
But
is
who
why
is polarizing? It is the Congress is polarizing.
I'm just saying
We are just responding to Congress.
Okay. Go ahead, Rashid.
Well, I think, Barkha, this is a simplistic way, or rather a fashionable or a media narrative to describe that. Prashant Kishore used to say that every time the so-called secular parties lost election, they would say Hindu Musalman ho gaya. See, the key point here is that, as we say, that if Sonia Gandhi had not spoken that Maut Ka Saudagar reference, do you think the outcome of 2007 assembly election would have been different? Had Manishankar Iyer not uttered that kind of that word, which I don't want to repeat, do you think the outcome of 2014 election would have been drastically different? So I think we tend to, simplify. The voter knows everything. And as Mr. Gopal Krishna Agarwal is saying, basically, that, see, the Congress will not be foolish to make into this 80-20 in terms of, votes and go with this kind of thing. That is why I'm saying I'm very curious to know that why this particular thing was put in. If the state party unit has put in, then they must be having some kind of inputs. And if it was imposed by the central party leadership, then all the best to Congress. I mean, they have frittered away this chance, whatever they had.
So you are saying that if it's come from the state unit, you would take that input seriously because they are on the ground.
Obviously, because they're stakeholders.
Yeah.
But job of political parties to win elections.
Okay, let's get Varun and
it
then
is to
Sanjay.
consolidate the Muslim votes in their favor.
What point
Congress is doing this.
If all 20% vote in a country, then 80% would go the other side. It makes no sense, Mr. Gopal Krishna Agarwal. I understand, you are a politician, you represent a political party.
Karnataka election, Karnataka, there is a big influence of different caste in Hinduism. So they want to consolidate the minority vote. That is
But the BJP wants to consolidate the Hindu vote.
So we are responding to what Congress has done. Why Congress is talking of banning Bajrang Dal? It is because they want to consolidate
But, Mr.
the
Agarwal,
Muslim
I'm sorry, I don't want to get
minority
into
vote
argument.
Rashid.
No political sense.
Can we let Rashid?
It is the intention of Congress to consolidate minority vote.
May I request you
They
to
have
also-
done this.
May I request you all to speak one at a time? Rashid, please complete your point. Rashid.
I'm saying with due respect, I'm saying it makes no political sense, Barkha, for a political party which is a stakeholder in an election nationally as well as in Karnataka to go for a very thin slice of voters, 15%, 16%, and lose 84% of votes. It makes no sense at all. It makes no. While Mr. Agarwal is entitled to have this opinion because he's representing a political party, and this. Again, this is a political formulation that the BJP has been making, not from now, but for decades.
Okay. I get what you're saying, that it's counterintuitive. Why would any party want to do it? Varun and then Sanjay. Varun, go ahead. Varun.
Firstly, let me behave like the Congress, not take Sanjay Jha seriously. Secondly,
okay, let's not. I'll say the same thing to you that I said to him. Please don't get personal.
No, I'm not getting personal. I'm just saying I'm not taking him seriously. What I'm saying over here is, what Mr. Agarwal has said has some point. Congress started it. Congress has to pay for it now in the coming election on May 10th. Not only that.
Started what? Congress
started this narrative. Congress is responsible for bringing the Hindu-Muslim narrative. Till then, there was none. Let you point out to me one instance where the BJP or any other Congress leader had spoken about Hindu-Muslim narrative. Even the hijab thing had disappeared from the campaign, and there was no way we could have spoken about it until unless the manifesto where it was pointed out. And the question that Rashid had mentioned, the state leaders have said against the Bajrang Dal ban. DK Shivkumar's statement that I read on Twitter categorically says that whosoever has put it has sabotaged it. So it is not the state government. It's not the state unit. Probably it looks like an injection from the central or from the higher up. And third point, SDPI has come out with a clear statement that it wanted to contest 100 seats, but now it will be contesting only 16 seats, and rest all it wants to give Congress a better chance to win. All these things clearly show from where things have changed, how things have changed. And Agarwal ji, it was me and other people who had said earlier also कि कर्नाटका में कांग्रेस के चांसेस अच्छे थे. हमको आप नहीं मानोगे या मानोगे, 20 दिन पहले तक लग रहा था कि कर्नाटका में कांग्रेस के चांसेस अच्छे थे. बीजेपी, बोमाई गवर्नमेंट, करप्शन, बैंगलोर फ्लडिंग, वहां पे रोड पे ट्रैफिक और जो बातें थी वो सारी चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लग रही थी. बट आप मान लीजिए कि अब चीजें बदल गई है. Now things have changed and things are changing in favor of you. और आपको तो मुझे लगता है आपको बजरंग दल के बारे में और ज्यादा बोलना चाहिए. आपको बजरंग बली के बारे में और ज्यादा बोलना चाहिए क्योंकि वो आपको हेल्प कर रहा है.
Before Sanjay comes in, Rashid had a brief interjection, then Sanjay, and we have to start taking closing comments. Rashid, Kidwai, please
very,
go ahead.
very quickly, Barkha.
Yes.
Where in India, there is a, tallest and the biggest, Pratima of Lord Hanuman. It's in Chinwara, and where, Kamal Nath has, personally supervised it. He organized a day-long Bandara, and he's always there on Hanuman Jayanti. What I'm saying is the Congress is a stakeholder in this electoral politics. They cannot be just, looking for 16 seats or here or there. Why would somebody leave a small, a big chunk of voters? It makes no sense. It's keep saying this thing. But politically, I'm saying that the Congress gains nothing if they oppose, so to say, the minority community.
But can I put it little differently to Sanjay? Karnataka was being campaigned, please correct me if I'm wrong, more as a local election, right? On local issues, right? By the way, the DK Shivakumar has said he's a devotee of Lord Hanuman, and Bajrang Bali is different from Bajrang Dal. People know the difference. But my question is something different. What was an essentially local election where Siddaramaiah, DK Shivakumar, how that relationship would pan out could impact the Congress chances much more than some Rahul versus Modi battle, with this controversy may have become a kind of national debate, which it never was. Does it not suit the Congress in states to keep the election local?
Barkha, first and foremost, one of the findings has been that the people of Karnataka were deeply concerned over the social tensions being created by the communal Bharatiya Janata Party and its several outfits of the Sangh Parivar like the VHP and the Bajrang Dal in Karnataka. Now, you know what they do in coastal Karnataka. And I think at the end of the day, everybody here is assuming that the Karnataka voter can be manipulated overnight by a little bit of melodrama and exaggerated falsehoods. I mean, people like, this journalist who's clearly a shame on journalism, and Gopal Agarwal are people who are actually insulting the people of Karnataka. I mean, let me make the second point, and this is the crucial one. The Congress has been able to establish the agenda for this entire election campaign. It will show itself on the 10th and the 13th when we have the results. And the biggest mistake again in this conversation, which I think appears to be a little politically, facile, to assume that this is communal. The communal is what has been happening since Bomai and the others have been leading the state over the last 5 years. I mean, people haven't forgotten what has been happening in Karnataka. People haven't forgotten that the Supreme Court has put a stay on this attempt to try and sabotage the 4% reservation for Muslims. The Congress is I'll tell you what is the difference. Why people like, Gopal Krishna Agarwal and, these soulless journalists.
Sanjay, why are you being so personal?
Because the Congress is batting on the front foot. It is calling it out, is bitten the bullet. And because they have said we'll ban both the Bajrang Dal and the PFI, these guys don't know where to go.
Okay. I want Varun to respond. Varun, you did share the tweet you were quoting. It's by Kiran Kumar, and he's quoting DK Shivakumar in turn, saying that DK Shivakumar was quoted with Vistara TV News is also saying we are Anjaney's Bhaks, whoever added Bajrang Dal ban. That is not in quotes. So it's interesting to see how DK Shivakumar will respond. I just wanted to actually pull that out. Last comments, everyone. Varun, quickly, you feel that things have turned from the Congress to the BJP favor solely on this issue? Solely on this issue?
No.
This issue has happened yesterday.
Yeah, not just this issue. The day Kharge spoke against Narendra Modi, till then it was a local issue. It was happening. Bomai was the face, corruption was a cause, and as I said, the local issues were there. But the moment you drag Prime Minister, see, you have to understand, even Arvind Kejriwal had stopped abusing Prime Minister because he realized that there is a different fan following for the Prime Minister and there is a difference for the state assembly.
Okay. Let him speak.
And it's different for the assembly. So when you vote, when you drag a person like the Prime Minister, and especially when someone like Modi, who actually has a cult following in this country right now, it changes things. And then this Bajrang Dal, Bajrang Bali thing came up, which has impacted heavily. I'm speaking to so many people, including yesterday Prithviraj Chauhan. Congress right now needs to put its house in order. Prithviraj Chauhan pointed out a simple thing yesterday, that it doesn't even know whether the NCP is its ally or not, because it has fielded candidate in Karnataka against them and they're eating into their votes.
Okay.
So the Congress needs
I have a question to Gopal Krishnan Agarwal before I give Rashid the last word. Sir, you've spoken a lot about the double engine Sarkar. One of the points being made is that while the Modi engine is strong and robust, the Bomai engine has not been so strong. How do you respond to that?
Barkha, we have to understand what we mean by double engine. It is the penetration of the national welfare schemes for the people. And I have talked extensively and written extensively on Karnataka on double engine Sarkar. I have given you a data clear cut where the state government do not cooperate with the center for implementation of the scheme by not providing them the proper data, even all whether their bank accounts or their land holding, etc., or other issues, etc. The welfare scheme where the Prime Minister talks about 100% saturation, where the Prime Minister talks about the push model of sending, getting the benefit of welfare scheme to every eligible person is not possible. So our issue, I have met hundreds and thousands of people in Karnataka. People are interested in whether they get the proper benefit of the social welfare scheme. The penetration of social welfare scheme under the our governments has been exemplary. Nobody can deny this. Even the international institutions are talking about this. So double engine Sarkar means is the penetration of the central government scheme to the last mile under the good governance, on leakage-proof governance, under the corruption-free mechanism is wonderful, and the infrastructure push that our government is doing, particularly in Karnataka, 38,000 crores have been specifically provided to Karnataka under the Gati Shakti impact. So the thing is, who is communalizing? The proper why Kharge was talking about poisonous snake about Modi ji. Why they have put up a Bajrang Dal? It is their frustration, and it is their frustration. Okay. We have been talking about development agenda, making Karnataka, or read our manifesto. No communal agenda is there. Our manifesto clearly talks about Karnataka contributing 20% to the national GDP, making it a global idea. All these issues are there. So the thing is, our agenda is development. But if anybody, even Congress leader, are talking anything against our Prime Minister, who is not our only Prime Minister, he is the Prime Minister of the country, we will not take it lying down. If they talk our commitment to Ram or Bajrang Bali is from our core of the heart. So if they talk about the Bajrang Dal is...
The BJP abused Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. Barkha, for the record, the BJP abused Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. They called out all kinds of nasty, poisonous names. You are aware of that. I think we should put it out also in the public domain.
There are 91 instances I can list where the Congress leader have abused the
may I request no overlapping talk.
International forums. The
Okay.
thing is, our agenda is development. Our agenda is leakage-proof delivery mechanism.
Your agenda
When
is
the Congress
development of
Prime Minister
Gautam
talks
Adani.
about
Okay, can
only
you not speak
85%
together?
losing, not getting to the people,
Okay.
and we talk about
Gopalji, I've
100%
heard.
saturation.
Okay.
That is
Gopal-
the difference.
Okay,
Therefore,
Gopalji.
people select us.
Okay, Gopalji, I've heard you.
Development
Sanjay,
of Gautam Adani
now.
is your credo.
Okay. All right. Sanjay, that's your last word. Rashid, can you step back from the rhetoric and look at it more dispassionately? Your last thoughts.
Yeah, Barkha, this is the state assembly election. Prime Minister is not a contender. He is not going to be the Chief Minister of Karnataka. The fact that that Gali politics and all these things have, or this ban on Bajrang Dal has got into the kind of centered agenda of the state politics, it tells you something. It tells an attempt to bring so-called non-issues to issues. Now, I will not say more, but as they say in Hindi, ये माहौल सब कुछ कहता है. Why the double engine की सरकार? Why Mumbai is not a central piece in the BJP campaign?
Okay. We will have to leave it with that question. That is this another election that the BJP is fighting on the Prime Minister? Prime Minister's strength, is it double engine or single engine? We'll have all of you back as the story develops. Thank you very much to Sanjay ji, to Varun ji, to Gopal ji, and to Rashid ji. Thank you very much. And to our audience, just a programming note before I go. For those of you who are signing up to become Mojo members, we will at 8 p.m. Tomorrow have a session with me where you can ask me anything. Can we fix this short, please? Where you can ask me anything. And so please do remember to sign up, become a Mojo member, and tune in if you would like to take part in that. Thank you.
We started Mojo right here in this basement. Just 4 people, 4. And now we're about to hit our first 1 million subscribers. So this is to say thank you to all of you for your support, for your respect, and for your encouragement. We've always gone to where the story is. During the pandemic, when television's big anchors were hunkered down in their studios or at their homes, we hit the road. We traveled from Delhi to Kerala, covering 30,000 kilometers in a small car, reporting from inside ICUs and inside slum tenements. Whether it's flash floods or war zones, we've always put our boots on the ground. In fact, we're just back from Punjab, tailing the Khalistani fugitive Amritpal Singh. And through all of this, we have always put you, the people, first. In an age of partisan polarized media where most journalists are either chamcha ya morcha, we believe the story is sacred and the truth of the story is what matters. And now as we get ready for the next step, we need your help. Become a Mojo member and get first access to all our big interviews. Get a chance to ask our newsmakers questions. Get a chance to write and report for us for both our website and our channels. And also, interact with me and my colleagues directly through AMA sessions. Literally, ask me anything. Click on the join now right next to the subscribe button, and yes, also subscribe if you haven't yet, and become a Mojo member for just 159 rupees a month. Hope to see lots of you in our community. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.